Craig, come on. I was liking your rating and everything, and then you dropped that comment. Oh, Craig.
Tesla stock bear Craig went on TV today and got laughed at. At first, the news anchors actually were digging everything that Craig was saying, and then something happened, so let's take a look.
Do you think Tesla stock could bounce back next year, and if so, by how much?
So I have an $85 price target and a neutral rating. I've had one of the most bearish price targets on this stock now for about 2 years. My thesis has been underpinned by the fact that Toyota makes about an order of magnitude more vehicles than Tesla. There's nothing that Tesla has that Toyota doesn't.
Craig, what is this right here? This is literally a minute later, you speaking, and I don't know if the anchors are just purposely making fun of you or the producers of the show, but fact is, Toyota does not have superchargers. In fact, Tesla now announced that it has 40,000 superchargers total worldwide. After making such a statement like that, you just lose a lot of credibility. Of course, how can you lose something that you do not have? Credibility. I don't know if you can say that Craig has a lot of credibility. He is ranked number 6,057 on Wall Street out of 8,000 people. Of course, just to be fair, I'm going to fact check myself. Maybe Toyota has built superchargers now. So let's see. Oh, maybe that's what Craig is talking about. Turns out Toyota does have superchargers after all. It's just that they are not for electric vehicles.
But Tesla's been egregiously overvalued. So we have seen the repricing of Tesla throughout the year as competition has incredibly come into the market, as people have understood the outlook for pricing pressure, and the longer-term trajectory where everyone assumed that Tesla would operate in a vacuum hasn't come together. Forget about, robo-taxis and the other daydreams that were out there.
You know what else Tesla has that Toyota doesn't? Tesla earned 8 times as much profit per vehicle as Toyota. Literally, Tesla made more total profit during this period of time than Toyota. Also, Craig, please show me any other competitor that can do this with vision-only approach. No LiDAR, no HD maps where you map out every single inch and centimeter and then someone literally takes a breath and blows a leaf to another place and the car can't function properly. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but am I? Am I really? And in terms of being outrageously overvalued, really? I mean, Tesla's price-to-earnings ratio is now roughly similar to that of McDonald's. But of course, we all know that McDonald's is working on fully self-delivering cheeseburgers, so it makes sense how McDonald's has such a high PE ratio.
The company's been executing, but not nearly as well as the daydreamers, so the lofty valuations come off, and it has to come back to earth. So I think Tesla's short-term trading is really going to be a function of whether or not Jack Dorsey goes back to Twitter, or maybe Dick Costolo, put Elon's focus back on the company and on driving units. But they're having problems, right? That's why they're discounting.
Elon finally finding a CEO for Twitter. That will be great when he actually finally does it. In terms of problems, Craig, you didn't give us a full story here. People have been delaying their orders because in the United States, everyone is going to have a $7,500 EV credit, or should, starting from January 1st. And what happened when Tesla matched that EV credit, also offered 10,000 supercharging miles, which happened around here. And you can see what happened to inventory. So, Craig, what do you mean? He didn't just say China. I believe he implied generally. Now, if you are talking just about China, that's where we can have a conversation. Look at this right here. Situation in China is not exactly the best right now. I don't think you are thinking of getting a car if you are stuck in a hospital. This, of course, is all temporary because China just lifted basically all of the restrictions and now everyone is getting the virus and everyone is sick temporarily. There are a few things to really consider, however. BYD currently sells more battery electric vehicles. This does not include hybrids. This is just battery electric vehicles only. And BYD currently outsells Tesla within China. It is also very important to note that BYD had a backlog entering into this whole virus situation. So, of course, you can call other people that just happened to not be sick because maybe they were sick before already, or they just got lucky. And, of course, that person will be able to take a car now instead of someone who was supposed to take a car but is now sick and cannot. Also, everyone conveniently ignores the fact that Tesla makes 8 times more profit per vehicle. And even more importantly, the BYD number includes hybrids as well. So how much are they really making from purely electric vehicles? BYD is looking to be a serious competitor later. Right now, I'm certainly not worried. Tesla eventually will have the compact, and in China, I believe that compact will obliterate BYD.
I'm still bearish. I'm sticking with my $85 price target. There's a short-term relief rally here.
Yeah, Craig,
but I
Craig,
think
momentum. Craig, on that price target, that assumes about 31% downside from current levels.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to go to a sell rating here, and what ultimately sends the stock down 30%?
Excellent question. So I am very bullish on the EV industry, right? EVs are inevitable. They're going to continue taking market share. Tesla's a pioneer. They deserve credibility for that. And I've always believed that there are very specific levers that Elon Musk can pull. He would call them levers. Specifically, I'm excited about the mini car. I think that expands their market greatly, gets them into lower price vehicles. And I think it was a very big mistake for them not to move forward with the concessions necessary to produce in the Indian market. The whole strategy of doing knockdown factories where they sort of incrementally source parts locally, not going to work in India, but the Indian market is a tremendous market, just as important as China. If they were to get back on track with those two things, you could see me actually turn constructive, because the growth here is amazing and they're dominating. But I just right now think there's much better places for people to put money.
Once again, Craig said something that I'm not going to say it is ridiculous because I'm a gentleman. I will let you guys say that down below in the comment section. But to say that India is an extremely important car market to Tesla right now, while Tesla is still growing this fast, then it can expand into other markets. I mean, look at this. So India, 3 million cars per year. It is growing though. But Germany, 2.6 million cars. And these cars are going to be expensive cars. Here are some of the best-selling cars that sell really well in India. This right here and this one right here. Do these cars look expensive to you? There's a reason why Volkswagen and Toyota, the two biggest automakers in the world by the number of cars they sell, are not even on this list. There's Hyundai here. Long term, of course, we want Tesla eventually to get into India as well. But in the short run, why wouldn't you prioritize a market like the European Union, where Mercedes and BMW sell a lot of cars, which are also pricey cars just like Teslas? If you really want to get into the Indian market right now, it might make sense to build a gigafactory in South Korea. There are some luxury cars sold in South Korea, and Tesla is doing fairly well there right now. And we cannot take cars from China to South Korea because these two countries don't get along. So we have to ship cars literally from US to South Korea over the ocean. And that's how we get them into South Korea. South Korea, however, has a trade agreement with India and is exempt from this absolutely ridiculous tax. So that's a little nice workaround right there.
Hey, Craig, Prost here. So talking about stateside and about the IRA that we were just talking about earlier, do you think that Tesla's not going to really benefit from the changes to the law that are coming in on the first introduction? You know, they're back into the regime. They're also getting that potential of a lease credit there. Or do you think other automakers like GM are better situated?
So it is unfortunate that Elon Musk has had a semi-antagonistic relationship with politicians of one party, right? It's unfortunate. You know, when laws are written, when tax laws are written, it's quite strange how sometimes some vendors can be written in, some can be written out. You know, I'm no expert on tax law, but I did appreciate your piece just before this interview. I think it could be problematic for them to pull down the subsidies, right? These are going to be very, very good for electric vehicles, but it looks like they could be better for competition than for Tesla. Now, if they're able to qualify for the 55 or, other things, we will have to see them come up with cheaper cars. So therefore, pricing pressure as they, downsize batteries, give away range, decontent things. So, call me a skeptic. I think they face pricing pressure and negative estimates momentum for a sustained period. That's not going to drive valuation in a growth stock. It's a growth stock. You need positive estimates momentum for a growth stock to work.
So, all right, now that 2 out of 4 of us in this conversation are not experts in tax law, let's focus in on the fact that you just said they're going to need to create a car that perhaps has more production synergies, similar to what we've already seen between the 3 and the Y. So if we see more of that in the future, does that mean less sexy, fanfarous vehicles coming to the market from Tesla? And where does the rest of the auto market and the competition that's ramping up their production on the EV side and already been taking orders, where do they start to take share?
So, small cars don't have to be less sexy, right? Look at the Mini Cooper. That is a great vehicle. It's been,
That's not a sexy car, Craig.
Oh, Craig, come on. I was liking your rating and everything, and then you dropped that comment. Oh, Craig.
Come on.
The new Sankers did all the commenting for me. That's something I didn't think I would say today, but here you go. I would say a Mini Cooper is a quirky but cute car, but I wouldn't call it sexy. I know some people really like it, but I don't think even they would call it sexy.
No, a lot of sort of Gen X, Gen Y people like that car. BMW makes great money with that car, and they've made it a VDL net car for all these years. Now they've only just pulled in production, so they're going to make more money with it. I think something like that could be a tremendous seller in Europe, probably in India, in other international markets. You and I might not buy one. Heck, I probably wouldn't want to be seen ever in one of those. But it's a cool car. It's sexy.
So Craig just repeated that he thinks the car is sexy, but he does not want to be seen in one ever.
A lot of the kids love them. A lot of the teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s love small cars like that for the practicality, and the Europeans love them too. So we have to be realistic about that. And a lower priced featured car could be a driver of long-term growth. And it doesn't have to be low margin, which is what BMW has proven to us.
All right, we're going to workshop the Mini Cooper as sexy with the Yahoo Finance viewers and listeners.
It is true that people in Europe do prefer much smaller and more compact cars than people over here. I was born there, and everything that is considered small or medium size here is going to be viewed as big in Europe, actually. So Craig does have a point here, although I don't think that people would call a Mini Cooper a sexy vehicle. It's cute, it's nice, but I wouldn't call it sexy. And these are 48 reasons why I only hold Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Postis. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.